Recording in
Hello, ladies. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm just adding everybody in, so hang tight and we'll get started. It's so good to see all of you. I'm going to invite you to come on video. Hi, Kristen. So good to see you.
Hi.
So everybody has the opportunity to come on video if you would like. I would love to see your beautiful faces. No pressure. Also, like if you're in your pajamas, it's totally fine. That's allowed. And I'm going to continue adding people in here and then we will get started. All right, sounds good, Morgan. Awesome. Hi, Rose. Hi, Caitlin. Hi, Anna. So good to see all of you. I'm so excited for today. Hi, Rose. I love your hair. Okay.
There's a few people.
Hi, Rashmi. When you come into the room, if you want to put yourself on mute, that way there's no background noise, and we'll get started soon. I'd love to know where everyone's coming from. I know a lot of you are from the Bay Area, so if you want to put in the chat where you are logging in from, we can see where everyone's coming from. We've got someone from San Diego, I know, Carlsbad. Nashville, Tennessee. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Hello, Rachel. Good to see you. So good to see you. I love that you came right on with your video. That's what's up.
So you don't have to stare at yourself the whole time.
No, I love when you ladies come on video.
Good to see you, my dear.
So much more connected. I can't wait till we can start moving into like the in-person events, which I actually have on my plan within the next year. So thinking about doing something in the Bay Area, but for now, this is good. All right, I'm going to keep letting people in as we start. But for now, welcome, ladies. It's so good to see all of you. Again, an invitation to come on video for any of this. If you've never been to one of my master classes or one of my trainings, I like them to be really involved. So I'm going to be asking a lot of questions, and I invite you to lean in and answer any of those questions either through the chat or coming off of mute. I have a PowerPoint that we're going to go through, but I'm going to come back and forth so that I can see your faces because that's what I love to do. So we'll get started in just a couple minutes. If you want to get a notebook or anything to take some notes on, you will also get a replay of this video. So you don't have to take notes. You can put the notebook totally to the side and just be like fully in it, and you'll have the replay for a while after this. So you don't have to worry so much about that. But if you like to be taking notes, of course, you can do that. So let's go ahead and get started. There's a couple more people that are coming in here. Charleston. Anna's from Charleston. Very cool. And Rachel, are you still in South Bay?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Very cool. Erica, I think I see you. I think that's the dancer. Good to see you if that's you. All right, ladies. All right, so welcome, ladies. We're going to go ahead and get started. I am super excited for this masterclass today. So we are going to be talking about resiliency in a way that isn't talked about often. We're going to be talking about it in a heart-based way and a heart-based approach to resiliency. And I'm going to go into what that means once we get into the class. For now, I'd love to hear from you what sparked your interest in coming to this masterclass. If resiliency is something that you feel really connected with, that you want to grow as a skill, so you can start putting that in the chat as we get a couple more people in here, and then we'll head right into the class today. What I'm going to be teaching on is I'm going to go through what it means when I say heart-based resiliency, so that you know, like, okay, what does that mean? We're also going to go through the neuroscience behind patterns and belief systems, because that has a lot to do with how you show up to challenges. So we're going to go through that. And then I'm going to teach all of you one body-based tool that you can use in moments of stress, so that you have a moment of pause to make the choice to be resilient. Because oftentimes when we have challenges and setbacks happen, we react so quickly that we don't really have that pause. And that pause is so powerful. There is so much power in that pause. So I'm going to teach you one body-based tool that you are going to leave with, that you will have in your toolbox to stay calm in moments of stress, which I know all of us experience on a day-to-day basis. So let me go ahead and share my screen. As I mentioned, today is going to be a lot of back and forth, because I really do love to see your faces and engage with you. And also I have some points that I want to make sure I stay on. So let me go ahead and get this shared, and we'll go through where we're headed today. Okay. All right, ladies, you can see the screen. Give me a thumbs up just to make sure you ladies can see. Okay, cool. All right, so let's get started. So where we're headed today. So first of all, welcome. I'm so excited that you're all here. If you don't know me, my name's Cassandra, and I am a burnout recovery coach and resilience mentor. I was in the corporate world for many years, over 10 years, and I just left that this year. I worked my way up in the corporate system, and I ended up being the vice president of my company, and I left that this year to start my own company, which is called Revive and Thrive Women. I'm super passionate about working with women to teach them the tools that they can implement to be more resilient, to recover from burnout, to move through stress in a way that results in power and strength, versus what we see so much of, which is depletion and stress and anxiety and all of the things. I'm also very aware that we're in a time right now where a lot of women are experiencing burnout, and all of us as a collective are really experiencing a lot of burnout from the last 2 years that we've experienced, which I'm sure everyone had, their challenges through the pandemic and through all of that. So that's a little bit about me. I'm so happy that you're here today. Where we're headed today, so we're going to talk a little bit about heart-based resiliency. So what does that mean, and how is it different than what's taught at other executive leadership conferences and trainings? I'm going to speak to you about looking through your challenges and setbacks through the lens of the heart. We're going to go through neuroscience, like I mentioned. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the brain and taking a look at the science behind rewiring your thoughts and belief patterns, and how that's going to change the way that you show up to challenges and setbacks. And then I'm also going to teach you resilient breath, which is something that you can use anytime that you come across setbacks and challenges. And the result of using this breath is, again, you have that power of pause, and then you can make an informed decision, which is going to lead to more confidence on your end anytime that you come up against challenges. And as I mentioned, we have so many challenges in our day. So we have so many examples to practice these tools, which we can look at as an opportunity, right? Ways to stay connected. So this is not accurate. My social media is actually at Thrive with Cass, not Cassandra Mascara. So I'll put that in the chat for you ladies later. Sorry about that. And then I also have a Revive and Thrive Women's Facebook group. That Facebook group is a place where I go in every single week and do live training. So if you finish this training and you like the way that I teach and the things that I teach on, you can head over to that Facebook group and know that every single Tuesday I come in and do a mini training that's just 10 minutes long. And now at this point, there's I think over 50 of those trainings. So you have access to all of that when you join that Facebook group. My website is CassandraMascara.com. And then if you ever wanted to learn what it would look like to work with me, then you can also set up a call with me, and I'll put that link in the chat later as well. All right, so today there is a giveaway on this masterclass for all of you ladies who showed up live. So what that is if you take a screenshot of the training today, any of the things that we're learning about, and repost it to your Instagram and tag me, you will be entered into the giveaway. Now, make sure that you tag me and then message me also, because for some reason, some of my tags haven't been showing on Instagram. So just message me and let me know you tagged me. I'll reshare your post. And then if you want a bonus point, you can share one golden nugget that you learned today. So something that you learned that is impactful, that you're going to use moving forward. And this is a way to really share with your community what's going on with this training and spread the love as well. The prizes for this giveaway are going to be a $50 scholarship that you can use towards any of my programs, and also a 1-hour guided restorative embodiment session with me that's going to focus on the rewiring and belief system stuff that we're going to talk about today. So that's going to be the prizes. Make sure that you enter the giveaway, tag me, DM me, let me know. And again, that's a way to really share the love and share the message. All right. So let's get started. So what does it mean to be a resilient woman? This is going to invoke a different vision for all of you. So maybe when you think of a resilient woman, you think of somebody who has a lot of confidence going into challenges. Maybe you think of somebody who, you know, is put down 8 times, gets up 9. I would love for you to put in the chat, if you want to just put like either one word that comes to your mind when you think of resilient woman, or a sentence about what you think it means to be a resilient woman. Again, it's going to be different for everybody. We all have different feelings that we have when we think of these certain things. So for me, when I think of a resilient woman, I think of somebody who has confidence in herself, and she knows that anytime she's going to have a challenge or a setback come into her life, she's good. She knows, like, I've got the tools, I can handle this, it's going to be okay. And she knows how to regulate her nervous system so that she can come back to calm. Because as you ladies know, challenges and setbacks can lead to stress, which will lead to our nervous system being stimulated, which leads to fight or flight mode, which leads to all the things. So that's what I think of when I think of a confident woman. And that's who I breathe life into every morning when I wake up. So some of you have mentioned what you think it is to you, or what it means to you. Rachel, the ability to move forward and beyond tough times or great struggle. I love the beyond. Yes. So we're not just moving through. I'm going to talk about this. I'm so glad you said that. It's not just like pushing through the experience. It's moving through it in a way that leaves you higher in your leadership than when you were before you had that experience. Kristen, someone that is not afraid of failure and looks at failure as an opportunity. That is such a good mindset. Yes. So somebody who looks at failure as a way to learn. We're going to talk about that too, because what I'm going to talk about in the heart-based resiliency portion of this training is the journey. You know, so many times we're pushing through things to get to the other side, and we're not thinking about the journey of the steps it takes to get there. Because when we face challenges, that journey can be scary, especially when we have really scary challenges happen. So I'm going to talk a lot about that too. Lauren, allowing stressors to roll off my back like water on a raincoat. Yes, instead of let them bring me down. So good. That's so beautiful. I love that visualization. So yeah, you have a bubble of protection, right? And all the challenges that come, you know, like you're going to be solid, you're going to be good, you're going to stay in your center, no matter the storm that's swirling around you with all the challenges. And Rose, somebody who doesn't waver their beliefs and values due to the pressure from the outside world. Yes, I love that too. Somebody who sounds strong and tall in their values. Okay, ladies, awesome. I know there's a few others I didn't get to. These are all really good. The next thing that I would love to know from you ladies is, right now on a scale of 1 to 10, how closely do you identify with being a resilient woman? So 1 is I don't identify with that at all. And 10 is like, I identify with that so much, that is who I be on a daily basis. And anytime I ask these questions, and one thing that I want to preface in any of the trainings I do is that these are really great times to have awareness without shame and without judgment. So shame and judgment is not allowed to any of the parties I throw. It's not allowed in the room. That's a hard boundary that I place for myself and for my clients and for my community. And so I ask you to place that same boundary with yourself. So if you feel like your resiliency is maybe like a 1, 2, or 3, that's totally okay. You know, meet yourself where you are, and that's good. Everyone's like 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, great. Awesome. So 8, nice, Rose. So I'm going to teach you all a few things today that's going to move that number up, because you're going to have the exact framework and an action plan on like what to do moving forward so that you continue to grow, right? Because we have so many opportunities to work on this, because we have so many challenges in our life. So the definition of resiliency is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, challenges, and hardship. That's why this masterclass is called Bounce Back, because that's the definition. And that's a lot of what you spoke in different words in your definitions as well. Now, what are some of the modern day challenges that many of us face? So some examples, I'm going to come back to you all so I can see your beautiful faces. So some examples of modern day stressors and modern day challenges that we have are deadlines at work, work fires, illness, holidays. How many of you here experience more challenges during the holidays than you do the rest of the year? A few of you? Yeah. 1,100,000,000%. Yeah, challenges come a lot during the holidays because we have our extended family who we love so much, who, you know, often bring like the questions and the triggering and all the things at the table. And like, we have to really regulate ourselves in order to move through the holidays in a way that is serving. Work fires. So how many of you have at least one work fire per day? Yeah, Kristen, I feel that from you. I know that. Yeah, at least. Yes. Okay. So many of us are experiencing multiple work fires a day, right? When I was a VP in corporate, my entire day was work fires, because the number one thing that I had to do every single day was have meetings with the people who are trying to cancel their contracts with us, which is like basically a definite, like my job was like the firewoman. So I had to get really good at this because I really had to learn. Yeah, Rachel, you too. Okay. So illness is another thing that a lot of people have as a challenge. So a lot of you are at least, or have in your life faced illness yourself, or have family members that are sick that need support. If you're a mom with a little one, you're probably having a lot of that. I know that my daughter, she just turned 17 months, and she started to get like more colds than ever. So these challenges can be small challenges, big challenges, really large challenges, challenges that feel like they have you at the throat and you can't even move because they're so scary. And what I'm going to teach you today is going to apply to every single level of challenge. So those are some of the things that come along with our modern day stressors. And we're going to move into how taking a heart-based approach is different than what is taught out there. So how many of you ladies have heard in reference to challenges and setbacks, like just push through the challenges, just get to the other side? Rose, yeah. So this is something I heard a lot. When I was a VP in corporate, I actually used to teach resiliency trainings to my own team. And this was before I started learning the wisdom of the heart. And I did it in a very masculine way. And I was up there preaching, push through, like, oops. Now I know that there's such a more powerful way. And that's what we're going to get into next. So let me go ahead and reshare. Okay. All right, ladies. So a heart-based approach to resiliency, what does that mean? What this means is that you stay connected to yourself and you stay in the game when challenges happen. You're not pushing through, you're not turning around and running the other way, you're not numbing out on social media or using any of the things that we tend to go to when we can't really hang and we can't handle what's happening. You're staying centered and you're staying with yourself, and you're using tools to regulate your nervous system. When you do that, you will grow your confidence in your ability to handle challenges, because you will give your brain proof that you've done it before. I'll say that again. When you go through this journey, you will grow your confidence, because our brain needs proof. It needs to see that we've done something some way, a certain way, time and time again. And so right now, if challenges stress you out, it might be because your approach to challenge in the past has been to numb out or turn around or push through or get anxious. And again, that's all okay. We weren't really taught a different way. when we approach resiliency in a way that's from the heart, we get to learn how to handle those challenges in a way that grows our power and grows our strength. And now, instead of that challenge having power over us, we get to hold the power the whole time, which is really amazing. So when do you feel most centered? If you can think of right now, like when in your life do you feel most centered? Maybe it's when you're running, maybe it's when you're in nature, maybe it's when you're in meditation, moving your body. You can put some ideas in the chat if you have some, if something's coming to mind. So think of when you feel centered and think of the aspects that come along with that. Typically, you're more clear, so you have clarity. I know there's a lot of people who use running as a way to like work out their problems because they get a lot of clarity as they're doing the movement. And that's because a lot of the like ego and monkey mind gets to be quieted in those moments, right? When we're in meditation, sometimes we have epiphanies and all these clarifying moments happen. So imagine that that's the space that you're approaching challenge from, instead of a dysregulated, anxious, stressed out nervous system on the like all up in the fight and flight, that place. That's the difference. The power of pause is so powerful. I'm going to come off this again because I just like seeing your faces so much. So the power of pause, what I mean by that is that when you have a challenge come up and you meet that challenge, there's a pause. There's a pause that you take and you make a decision and you make a choice on how you want to respond to that challenge. How many times do you have a challenge happen where you like immediately go into reaction because you're like, oh my gosh, this shit's hitting the fan. Like, what do I do? Right? There isn't a lot of pause typically in that approach. Usually none. It's like challenge and reaction. So the power of pause is that you get to take care of yourself before you go and take care of others, which a lot of challenges are other people, right? Work people, family members, things that are not necessarily your own challenge, but other challenges that are coming to you. Well, when you take that power to take care, or take that pause to take care of yourself first, you can respond in a way that's going to serve you, grow you in your leadership, make you stronger, and then serve everyone around you as well, so that you can be the one that people look to and think, wow, when there's a challenge, Rose really knows how to lead herself and me through. I feel safe with her. You know, this is what's possible. So another thing, so the first thing, I'm going to see if any of you put in the chat. Oh, thrifting. I love that, Rachel. Yeah, in nature and meditation. Okay, good. So you ladies have an idea of something that creates calm for you, right? I'm going to give you some more options so that you have a toolbox of things to pull from the next time a challenge happens, which is probably going to be sometime today from 1 p.m. on, because let's be honest, like challenges are happening all the time, right? So body-based tools such as breath work, such as placing your hands on your heart, such as taking a walk in nature, doing something that you love, like thrifting. These are things that create calm. These are things that allow you to be more centered, and they're things that you can do when challenges come your way. And so I want you to start thinking about that. So again, today from 1 p.m. on, when you have a challenge come your way, grow your awareness around, okay, what can I do to take care of myself right now? Write down on a piece of paper, what do I need in this moment right now? And put that piece of paper somewhere that you're going to see it the next time a challenge comes your way. Take care of yourself first so that you can then take care of others. That's how you grow into an epic leader. That's how you lead yourself and others. I want to talk a little bit about vision versus circumstance, because this has to do with heart-based resiliency. So many of us live our life looking at our circumstance. That's very natural human behavior. And what I mean by that is we look at the things that are true for us right now. Okay, I work this many hours a week. I don't have time. I don't have the luxury of getting help, you know, all the things that we think that are to do with the circumstance that we're in. And what I want to invite you into is start to breathe more energy into looking at vision. And so in this training, what that looks like is, what is your vision of how you want to respond? How do you want to present yourself to a challenge? What do you want? And I'm going to have us go through a little exercise around this, but just to get your like wheels turning, that's what looking at vision is. And your ego is going to be like, yeah, but you can't do that because you never did that before. And like, you know, no, that's not okay. Just put ego to the side for a minute and start really thinking about vision. This is something that I guide all of my clients through, and it's a big edge for a lot of women. There's a famous psychologist who actually did a study on this around women, ambition, dreaming, and visioning. And what she found is that many women had a really difficult time visioning when compared to her male clients. If she asked her male clients, like, what do you want to do in the next 5 years? They always had the plan, the thing, all the things. And then when she asked her female clients, they had a really hard time answering that question. And her research found that the reason that is because a lot of us growing up were kind of told what we were going to be. You're going to be a mom, you're going to be a this, you're going to be a that. There's a lot of hats that are placed on women in our society. And so we don't flex the muscle of visioning of what we want very often. And unfortunately, that comes from the programming in our society. So one thing I want to invite all of you ladies into starting today is start visioning what you want. Start visioning what you want to, how do you want to respond when challenges come your way? Start visioning what do you want your day to feel like? A really good practice is like every single morning, take 5 seconds to close your eyes and think, how do I want the day to go? Because so many of us like wake up, our alarm is off. We like turn our alarm, check our emails, go make coffee, chug the coffee, like wrangle our kids out the door. And like, we start moving into a day that's happening to us. And like, we don't even know, like at the end of the day, we're like, oh my gosh, like what happened, right? So take some time in the morning to think about, what do I want this day to look like? How do I want to approach my challenges? How do I want to show up in my leadership? This is such a good skill to start cultivating, and it's so needed, especially for women. So let me go ahead and go back to the screen share. Okay. I'm very happy that my technical skills are doing great today, because sometimes it's not this smooth. Okay, so heart-based resiliency, again, just to recap, being connected to yourself during challenges and setbacks. Well, how do you do that? Find out what gets you centered. Breath work is the quickest way. I'm going to give you a tool at the end of this that I'm going to teach you, so you can start using this again today at like 1:15 when shit starts hitting the fan or whatever. So second thing I want to talk about is neuroscience and the science of the brain, and the science of bouncing back and how to rewire your brain. So I'm curious if any of you ladies have ever heard of the term neuroplasticity. If you know what that is. If you do, you can put a yes in the chat. Let me know that it's something you're aware of. Neuroplasticity is, for those of you who might not be, is your ability, your brain's ability to grow, adapt, and change, to evolve, which is really awesome. Okay, some yeses, some nos. Awesome. Okay, cool. So your brain has the ability to change, no matter the age you are, no matter the time. It's not the same brain you're born with, and you can change it at any time. It has this ability to grow, adapt, and change. And so I want to talk about this in regards to resiliency, because if your approach to challenges right now is that you get anxious and stressed, it's okay. That's totally fine. You get to change that. You get to make a decision and declare today that I'm going to approach challenges in a way that sharpens me, that makes me stronger, that grows me in my leadership. This is possible on a biological level. So how many of you have heard the quote, and you can raise your hand or put it in the chat, neurons that fire together, wire together? Anyone? So what this means is that the repetitive things that happen, they have a very strong connection to each other. So if a challenge arises and you immediately get stressed out, that connection is pretty hardwired, meaning that anytime a challenge comes, your immediate response is going to be stressed out or anxious or in fear. Many of us feel paralyzing fear when big challenges come our way. That's very common. And so what it means by neurons that fire together, wire together, is that the things that you're doing consistently are the things that are going to have a strong bond. And again, because of neuroplasticity, we get to change that. So again, going back to vision, how do you want to respond in the face of challenge? How do you want to respond when setbacks come your way? Make a decision today, write it down, and start repeating that. That's how you're going to change the connections in your brain, so that 1 month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, a challenge that would have knocked you down today barely skims your surface. Like Lauren said, you're like a raincoat and that water's just like off the raincoat. That is possible, and it does not have to take a lot of time. What it does have to take is repetition and consistency. So it's not like a one-hit wonder, right? It's like you have to practice this over and over. Because ladies, think about how many years our brain has been, like how many years that we've had the connection of like challenge, stress, like maybe 30 for some of us, like maybe more, you know. So we need consistency, but that consistency is going to change things fast for you. So if you're open to sharing this, I would love to know, what is your automatic response to setback? Type it in the chat. So some examples could be avoidance. That's a huge pattern I see in a lot of my clients, meaning that like a challenge comes your way and you're like, nope, and you just like walk the other way, like out the door. Another example is fear. Really big challenges can paralyze you. I've definitely felt that before in my life, for sure. Another example would be anxiety. So sometimes a challenge comes and you immediately go into anxious thoughts, thinking about all of the things that could happen in the future about that one thing. That often happens, especially when we have like illness that we're dealing with ourselves or with a loved one, which can be really scary. I'm going to read the chat. Actually, I'm going to come back to you. Okay, so let's see what some of you ladies said. Overthinking and anxiety. Okay, good. Thank you so much, Caitlin, for sharing. That's so common. Who else can identify with that? Overthinking and anxiety when challenges come. Yeah, so many of us. Wanting to avoid, for sure. Feeling the fight or flight kick in and wanting to flee. Yeah, fight, flight, flee. That happens a lot. That's a very hardwired way of going through challenges for many women. Frustration, anxiety, and then it's quickly switched to solution-based after I know I'm controlling my response. Yes, Rose, so good. Diana, panic attacks. Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. That is definitely common as well. And the resilient breath that I'm going to teach you, Diana, is going to be super helpful for this, because oftentimes, and you can correct me if this doesn't happen to you, but I know from my personal experience with panic attacks, it often impacts your ability to breathe. So we don't have a lot of time for stories. Some of you who have maybe worked with me in the past know this, but I used to have panic attacks as a teenager and into my early 20s very often. It was something that I was hospitalized for a lot as a kid, and I actually didn't even realize until I started doing a lot of this work and unraveling that that was like such a big traumatic event for me as a child. When I was a child, I thought it was just like exercise-induced asthma. I had no idea it was actually anxiety related. So yeah, that can happen. And then overwhelm and shut down. Kristen, okay, yeah, thank you so much for sharing. So all of these things are really common. And again, like this is the circumstance, right? This is the way it's been in the past. And now we get to start talking about vision. So my next question for you ladies is, what do you want your response to be when setbacks occur? What is your vision? What do you want to feel? Like something happens at work, a work fire happens, you get the email, it's like red flag. How do you want to respond? Calm and confident. Yeah, Caitlin, amazing. How good would that feel? How good would it feel to take care of yourself? No problem, I've got this. Yeah, super confident. So this is what we're going to start breathing life into starting today. Because as I mentioned, the more that you repeat the vision, the more you repeat the patterns of confidence and calm, and I'm going to give you some tools, the more that that will become true for you, and it will become your automatic response. It's okay if your automatic response is one way now that's not serving you. What you can do is, again, starting today, you take action and make decision to change that so that you don't continue to move forward with that response, especially if it's not serving you, especially if it's causing suffering. You know, we do not have to suffer in this life, ladies. We do not have to suffer in this life. And so many of us get caught in that. So I want to talk a little bit about mindset strategies, and then we're going to do a little exercise and move on to the body-based tool that I'm going to teach you all. So mindset strategies, rewiring your brain comes from having repetitive patterns, repetitive thoughts, and repetitive habits. So the thoughts that you have are so powerful. Your thoughts dictate your beliefs dictate your actions, and your actions create the life that you live. So you have to start asking yourself, what do you believe? Do you believe it's possible to feel confident when challenges come your way? If that's a no, then you get to change that belief. You get to say yes. Like, that's the awesome part about this life and the way that our brain works, is like we get to choose, you know? So what I want to talk about today is like this circumstance versus vision, which you ladies just pointed out for me so beautifully. So some of you have anxiety when challenges come your way and you want to have confidence. So what is going to bridge that gap? What's going to bridge that gap is repetitive action that breathes life into the confidence and not into the anxiety. And this takes some time. It does take repetition and time. And there is a very effective tool that I'm going to give you today that has to do with mindset work that you can start using again today, which is affirmations or sentences that you think over and over and over that speak to the vision that you want. So how many of you have heard of affirmations? How many of you have heard of repetitive sentences? Mantra is another word that's used. Some of you? Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. It's pretty mainstream now, which is pretty awesome because when I started studying this stuff like 7 years ago, it was not that way. It's like very woo. And now like everybody can, there's also been a lot of science that backs it up, which is awesome too. So what I want you ladies to do right now is write on your piece of paper what you wrote in the chat, which is what do you want to feel when challenges come your way? So some of you said calm, confident. Maybe some of you want to close the gap of like how much time it takes you to move through it. That's a great up level as a leader, is like shortening that time, you know, of like challenge happens. And then a lot of us sometimes freeze or stay stuck. And then what I want you to do is from that is come up with a sentence that you can repeat when challenges happen. So for example, I'll share my screen. So for example, I am confident. I feel grounded when I face challenges. That's an example. And you can take this example if that sounds good. You can write that down. Or something that's more unique to you. The reason I'm going to have you do this is because this is what you're going to come back to and repeat over and over and over again. And ladies, it's okay if you don't believe it now. It's okay. That's common. So sometimes we have this like vision, right? Of like, okay, here I am. I feel anxious when challenges come my way. I want to feel confident, but there's a gap. And our logic mind likes to tell us that like, you can't really believe that that's true because this gap exists. But the truth is that the way that you get that gap closer and closer and closer is by speaking life over the vision that you want. So every time a challenge comes, it's okay if you feel anxious. At the same time, speak, I am confident. I feel grounded when I face challenges. This is how you close the gap. And it's going to feel weird at first. You're going to say it and like your little critical self is going to be like, no, you don't feel confident, you know, like that's going to happen. It's okay. Keep going, keep showing up for yourself. This is how you change your brain. So for those of you who are brave, I would love to know if you want to share in the chat, what is the statement that you are going to start speaking starting today? So today at whatever time it is, challenge comes, what is the thing that you're going to tell yourself and speak life over and over and over? Yeah, cool. And adding calm. Perfect, Caitlin. Yeah, I love that. I am grounded. I am calm. Yes. So another thing too, ladies, and I'm not going to go so much into this on this training, but it is something I go into in my programs. When anything that you say after I am becomes because, when you say I am strong, you're going to start to have beliefs that tie to that statement. And as I mentioned, your beliefs are what move to actions, and your actions are what move to your life, right? All of these things, I'm capable. I love that, Rachel. Yeah, so good. So I am blank is a great affirmation to start with. It is so powerful. And also on the flip side, start noticing the things that are going to cause you to spiral down that come after I am. So I have to catch myself on this like all the time. I am tired. How many of us say I am tired? Oh my gosh, right? All the time. So I feel tired is a way that you can switch that, because it's speaking to a feeling that you're having that isn't going to stay for your whole life. It's not who you are. It's just what you're feeling, right? I am mad, I am angry, I am sad. There's a lot of things that we say, and I just invite you to be aware of that and start flipping that to I feel, or breathing life into the opposite. Again, like tricking your brain. When you feel tired, I am energized. Like say it so often and it becomes like kind of what is, because you're going to start taking action on that. And what that might look like will lead you to have a more energized day. So I don't want to get too off topic, but let me see some of the other ones you ladies had. Thank you so much for sharing this all with me. I am capable. I will develop a plan to overcome this challenge one step at a time. Yes, I love that. So good. All right, ladies. So you have your affirmation. You have the tool to start rewiring your brain starting today. So again, place this somewhere that you're going to see it, so that challenges come up, and it's going to remind you to say the thing that is going to change your patterns, and it's going to lead you into becoming the most resilient version of yourself. And again, that does not have to take a lot of time, but it does take consistency. So be consistent, ladies. All right. Any questions that you ladies have about any of this? All right. So we're going to move into the body-based tool that I am going to teach you. And then we're going to go into Q&A, which I'm really excited about. So many of you ladies submitted some awesome questions. So let's go ahead and share my screen again. So today I'm going to teach you resilient breath, which is a breath work practice that you can use to shift your nervous system very quickly. And that will result in you feeling more confident about your ability to manage the challenge that comes your way, to move through the challenge that comes your way, to meet the challenge that comes your way heart first, right? Your nervous system is probably going into a state of fight or flight when you have challenges and setbacks and adversity happen in your life. Let me know if that resonates with you. Do you notice when challenges come your way that you start to feel a little bit stimulated, meaning like your heart rate gets higher, you begin to sweat a little bit, your stomach might start to hurt? These are all things that happen when our body shifts into a state of fight or flight. And the number one tool that shifts you the fastest is using your breath. It is the most powerful thing out there, the power of the breath. So today I am going to teach you resilient breath, which is a breathwork practice that you can use to shift things very quickly. I also want to talk about creating confidence, because this has to do with this breathwork practice as well. So I'm going to stop. I don't even know I have a PowerPoint. I just want to like see you ladies. So have you ladies ever heard, or do you have awareness around this, that there are certain areas of your body that represent certain emotions, and when you are feeling certain emotions, you place your body in different ways? Some of you, Rose, yeah, I know you know. So think about this. If you have a challenge come your way and you're feeling stressed out, most often you're going to like hunch forward, your shoulders might drop, you might contract, you might be sitting at your desk like kind of like this, closed off, scared. If you have kids, it's really amazing to watch this in children. You can see in their body the emotions that they're experiencing. So if little kids are like scared, a lot of times they'll curl up. If they're feeling like really excited and happy and like curious and playful, they're like all open. You know, as we head into adulthood, we tend to stop moving our body in ways that express our emotion because of a lot of the programming that happens. So in order to instill confidence in your body, you can reverse engineer this. And so what I mean by that is how I mentioned, like when you're not feeling confident, you might have your shoulders forward, your side body is short. Who here has heard of power posing? Anyone? Yeah? No? So power posing, there was a study done on this, and it showed that individuals who went into a power pose had higher results in the things that they did. So for example, they were going into an interview. Yeah, Superman pose, or I like to say Superwoman pose, but yeah, that's exactly right, Caitlin. So Superwoman pose is like feet more than hip distance apart, arms out, heart lifted. And so they did research on this. They found that when individuals stood like that for a certain amount of time, they actually felt more confident and they felt more able to do whatever they were going to go do, which is really awesome. So I'm going to bring this into this breath work practice. And I'm going to do it with all of you right now. So come into a comfortable seat, as you probably are. Okay. Diana, I will reach out to you. Thank you so much for that. And if you can maybe put your Instagram handle or email or some way that I know how, that would be awesome. Okay. All right, ladies. So come into a comfortable seat. You can put your hands on your thighs, palms facing up or palms facing down. Another trick that you can do is if you're needing to feel grounded in a moment, palms facing down is going to invoke more of a grounded feeling. So you can do either way. And then take a deep inhale and bring your shoulders up towards the top of your head. So make your side body long. Your side body is the space from your armpit to your hip. So make that space super long. Yep. Okay. Now bring your shoulders back. See if you can feel your shoulder blades hugging on your back, and then bring your chest and lift it up towards the sky. So if you've never sat like this might feel kind of funny, right? And then Erica, you can gaze forward towards me. Yeah, so that your head doesn't hurt so much. Yeah, good. Okay, so heart is lifted. Now just close your eyes and feel yourself in this posture. Notice if you start to feel more confident, if you start to feel more able, more capable, more strong. If this is the first time doing it and you don't feel any of it, it's totally fine. Now, to give you the reverse of that, everybody come and bring your shoulders forward, hunch forward, bring your side body short, and look down at your hands. And notice the difference in how you feel. Like you might feel kind of small. You might feel like, you know, not so great, right? So that's the difference in how our body can be in these positions, and then you can start to feel. So let's go into the position that makes us feel good. So take a deep inhale, bring your shoulders up, side body's long, you are worthy. Exhale, bring your shoulders back, hug your shoulder blades together on your back. Put your hands on your thighs, either palms facing down or palms facing up, and then start to deepen your breath. Close your eyes, slow down your breath. Deep, slow breaths in and out through your nose have a very quick impact on your nervous system. So see how slowly you can slow your breath down. Notice the impact that this breath might have on your body, on your mind. You can even count your inhales and exhales if that's helpful. So we'll just go through a few more rounds just so you can really feel what it feels like to breathe this deep, slow breaths in and out through your nose. Diana, it feels good. Awesome. So good. And we'll just do 3 more rounds, ladies. So deep inhale in. See if you can go the slowest you've gone so far. And then after your final exhale, you can open your eyes. How do you feel? So go ahead and put in the chat. Thank you, Diana, for starting us off with that. Let me know how you feel. Let me know if you're able to feel a shift. More calm. Calm and grounded. Thank you, Rose. Amazing. So ladies, anytime you take deep, slow breaths in and out through your nose, you will shift your nervous system to a parasympathetic state, which is a rest and digest state, which is a healing state. It doesn't take a lot of time, as you just noticed. I feel confident and strong. Felt a little tense releasing, felt a tense feeling in my chest release. Yes, awesome. Good, but a little stiff, definitely felt different. And then being hunched over and then pulling back. Yeah. So sometimes like we got to see the opposite, right? And then we get to see like, whoa, that's different. So this breath has an impact on your nervous system. So what I want you ladies to do is, again, moving forward, when you have a challenge come your way, use this breath often. And use the stance in your body, the shoulders up, the heart forward, the power posing as you're breathing to invoke and bring in more confidence for yourself. So you're getting two things. You're getting a nervous system that's down regulating, and you're getting an increase in your confidence. And this is resilience breath. And this is something that you get to use over and over and over so that you build that consistency so that it becomes automatic. Your automatic response to challenge is resilient breath and badassery. That's what's moving forward, right? Okay, amazing, ladies. So let me go through a recap, and then I have something to share, and then we'll go into Q&A. Thank you so much for being so involved. I am so proud of all of you. It really, really makes these trainings so much more fun. I do not like to be the only person talking at people. So it's super helpful. And I really want to just applaud you for being courageous in that way, because it does take courage to lean in and speak amongst a group that you don't know. So amazing and well done. Okay, so to recap, number one, resilience in a heart-based way is going to allow you to come out of your challenges in a way that leads to more confidence. So if you notice that your habits and tendencies right now are to push through, avoid, turn the other direction, run away, starting today, start to lean in a little bit more. And if you need support around that, I'm going to share something next that could be a good offering for you. You can always reach out to me too on social media if you need support around this. Allow the challenges to be there for you, not against you. This is a huge reframe. How many times when challenges come our way, are they like the biggest villain, right? And we fall into victim mode a little bit, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening to me. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this thing happened. Look at your challenges from a lens of, how is this going to lead to my growth? How is this going to sharpen me? How is this going to make me the most resilient version of myself and bring my leadership even higher than what it is right now? Stay connected to yourself and use the tools that you learned today to stay grounded. We also talked again, just to recap, about rewiring your brain. So change comes from repetition and consistency. Speak into how you want to feel when challenges arise. Speak into your vision. What do you vision for yourself? How do you lead your life? How do you lead your day? How do you lead through challenges? Start bringing life into that. That has so much power in it, ladies. And then resilient breath. So grow your confidence in your body and use your breath to keep you calm when chaotic moments arise, so that you have that power of pause, so that you have that moment to make a decision. How do I want to react in this moment? I'm going to take care of myself first. I'm going to downregulate, and then I'm going to make a powerful choice to react and meet my challenge in a way that's going to lead to strength instead of suffering. Okay, that is possible. Any questions so far, ladies? We do have a Q&A session that I have all the questions that you submitted, which are really good. So we're going to go into that. Before, I would love to present an offer to you if you ladies are open to that. So I do have a new program that has to do with what I taught you. And I'm going to share that with you. Are you ladies open to that? Yeah? Okay. All right. So I have created something called Resilient Woman. This is my newest program, and it is going to teach you how to maximize your growth during challenges and during setbacks. And that is going to result in you showing up confident to every single thing that comes your way. So this program is going to walk you through exactly what to do in your day-to-day when you are met with a new challenge. And I'm also going to teach you the teachings that you are going to embody so that you become the most resilient version of yourself. This is one of my most powerful trainings, because once you understand what it takes to become a resilient woman, you will become unstoppable. I'm going to stop sharing so I can see you all. Oftentimes, when we face challenge, we stop moving. The fear paralyzes us. We get stuck in our old patterns and our old ways. And when we stop moving, we're not able to grow into the leader that we want. We're not able to achieve the goals that we want. And it takes 2 times the momentum to get back going. How many of you have experienced that before, where you have a challenge, you had some momentum up until that point, and then challenge happens and you stop moving, and then you're like, damn, like I got to get all that momentum back and then keep moving forward. So when you learn how to become a resilient woman, you will become unstoppable, because you will keep moving. All of the challenges will still happen, but you're going to keep that momentum going no matter what. The resiliency framework that I teach is different, as I mentioned today. So a lot of executive leadership coaching programs teach it in a way that's very heady and it's very pushed through, and it doesn't give the connection to heart. And when you learn resiliency in that way, it leaves so much on the table because you're not connecting to yourself, and the journey that you go through is what sharpens you. Like that's what creates the new version of yourself on the other side. It's the journey. And when we stay connected to our heart, we're able to go through that journey in a way that's connected instead of a way that's disconnected. So no more pushing through, no more numbing out, no more turning away and running the other way. You're going to have the ability to meet your challenges with your heart and with these tools and move through them. And that's going to create confidence in your life. So the teachings that I'm going to share in this program, Resilient Woman, are the same teachings that I applied to my life and what's allowed me to go from where I started, which was a cold caller making 200 dials a day back in the sales rep days. I then was a vice president running a $2 million company. And then I just started my own company, Revive and Thrive Women, and I have my own business. So I know from personal experience that this teaching is so powerful and it has the ability to really transform you because, again, you become unstoppable and you become a woman who's able to meet challenges in a way that sharpens and strengthens you. In this program, I'm not only going to teach you the framework around heart-based resiliency, I'm also going to teach you how to apply it to your life. So every single woman who comes into this program is going to fill out a form before that tells me exactly what you're going through in your life right now. What are the challenges that you have that you want to overcome? And we will specifically start working on those things in week 1. So you're going to be able to apply this to your life so that you get tangible results in the four-week period, because it's a 4-week program. Let me see if I have anything else. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So if this is something that you're interested in, it's going to start next week. For those of you who are a yes to being your most resilient version of yourself, and you want to start working with me in this way, there will be a founder's pricing. So this pricing that I'm offering to all of you ladies, to all of the people who decide to jump in for the first round, is going to be 50% off of what it will be in the future. And that is because it is the first round. You're the founding students. You're the ladies who said yes right away. I know that that can be scary. And so I want to reward you for taking inspired action and being a self-led leader in that way, if this is something that you want and if this is something that will help. If you have questions, you can DM me on Instagram. You can email me. I am going to put a link in this chat, which I'll actually do for you right now, that has a link to my calendar to get an appointment and talk about this. I have cleared a lot of time on my calendar this weekend so that all of you can, here we go. Oh, sorry, ladies. Can you see my face? Was I sharing something else? Sorry about that. So that's the link to my calendar. If you're interested in what it would look like to be in this program, then you can schedule a time. If you don't want to schedule a time, that's totally fine. You can just reach out to me on Instagram or email or however. However, because this program is going to be very much high-level mentorship from me, the calls are really helpful because I get to see where you are now, what your vision is, and then we specifically work on that through the program. So again, you have a tangible result on the other side. I know you're all so busy. The calls are just 30 minutes. I would highly invite you to book a call because there's a lot of value that can come with that. And for those of you who do want to book a call and do so in the next 48 hours, I will also offer you a free coaching session as well, which you can use throughout the program at any time. And that's a one-on-one coaching. Okay. All right, ladies, we're going to head into Q&A. Thank you so much for allowing me to share that with you. I'm super excited. It's my newest program. I've spent a lot of time developing it, and I just know that the ladies that join and like the magic that's going to happen in the 4 weeks is going to be really awesome. So if you want to be in that room, don't sit on the fence. Just book a call with me, reach out to me and let me know. And we can start working together so that you can get through these challenges. Who you are in 4 weeks from now with the help of a high-level mentor is going to be completely different than who you are now. And I know that that might sound like not possible, but I know it's possible because I do it with all my ladies, and I myself have high-level mentorship, and I see how that molds me every 4 weeks. So it doesn't have to take a lot of time. Okay, I'm going to go into the questions. Any questions about the program? You all have my link? Okay, All right. Awesome, ladies. Bye, Kristen. I'll see you next time. Bye, Lauren. Okay, so for those of you who submitted questions, we're going to dive into that. Some of you submitted some amazing questions. So I asked you all, what is the number one thing that you would like to learn more about in regards to overcoming setbacks and growing your resilience? So I'm going to go through them and answer all of these questions. So somebody asked how to stay motivated when challenging things happen and I still have to show up. That's a good question. How many have ever felt like hiding under the covers when challenges happen, but like you still have to show up because you're a leader at your workspace or you're a leader in your life, you're a leader at home. So how to stay motivated. So I have a pretty like radical ideology to motivation. If you work with me, you know this. I've like blown some minds saying this. So I'm going to say it and you just like, if it lands, it lands. If not, it's totally fine. I don't really believe in taking action based on motivation because motivation comes and goes. So sometimes we feel super motivated and sometimes we feel zero motivation at all. Instead, take action on being consistent. So the consistency will create motivation, meaning that if you have a challenge and your immediate response now is to back off and not show up, today, just start showing up, just start showing up, just start showing up. And that consistency is going to create momentum in your life. So if right now you're leading your actions and your decisions based on the momentum that you have, you're leaving a lot on the table because we don't feel motivation 100% of the time. I don't think anybody does. I definitely do not. For me in my business, there are days that I do not want to show up. I do not want to show. I want to do all the things that don't have to do with my business. And I consistently show up anyways, because I realize for me, like this is so much bigger than myself. This is about all the women that I'm supporting. So it's not fair to them if I just decide not to show up because I don't feel motivated that day. So in relationship to this question, when things are challenging that happen, get the support that you need to continue showing up. And the more that you do that, it's going to be a part of who you are and you will become a woman who just shows up. That's who you are. And there might be a gap now and that's okay. Like you will get to that point. And if you need support, like invest in support. It's going to be the thing that moves the needle for you. Okay. Question number 2. I feel like I don't have the energy to be resilient. This is really good. Resiliency does require some energy. And the good thing, ladies, is that you always have energy to tap into. You just have to know how. And you have to know also where your energy leaks are. So a lot of us have energy leaks that are depleting our energy on a day-to-day basis. Start identifying what that is for you. What are your energy leaks? Maybe it's phone calls with your mom-in-law. Maybe it's conversations with people you don't want to be having. Maybe it's social media. Social media can definitely be an energy leak if after you get off of it, you feel worse than when you logged on. Identify what the energy leaks that you are having first, plug those up so that you have more energy to work with, and then start investing in energy increasing activities. So these include like rest, which is funny enough because you wouldn't think that's one, but get good sleep at night. Don't look at your phone right before you go to sleep. Don't look at your phone right when you wake up. These are things that will allow you to have more energy. And as that energy grows, you're going to feel more capable of being that resilient woman that you want when challenges come your way. The biggest thing that I can say around this question is take care of yourself. Because again, a lot of these challenges that we're facing, they're other people's challenges and we're helping them to support. And we can't do that if our container is not full. If we have a full container and we're taking care of ourselves and we're like showing up big, we're able to support other people through their challenges and it doesn't impact us. But if we're depleted and exhausted and we have nothing left, it's going to be really hard to do that. So find what is unique to you as far as taking care of yourself and do it often. And there's so many things, again, that I can support you on if you want, but that would be the answer to that. Okay, what are some things to do to start your day off right that you can do in your own home? I can't leave my house in the morning and I would love to quit looking at my phone. Yes. Okay. I love this. So my first thing I want to say to this is stop looking at your phone. Just stop. So some hacks around this that I've applied in my life that have been very helpful is that I do not have my phone in my room. So when I go to sleep, I charge my phone in the kitchen. I set an old school alarm in my room, and I don't use it as an alarm because I know that I do not have the self-control to turn off my alarm and then put the phone away. My go-to is like, I would turn off my alarm. I'm like, oh, Instagram, social media, like, and then like, I'm all in the technology of like the phone, you know? So I love that you want to start quit looking at your phone. Start doing that. That's amazing. That's a great step forward towards having more energy and being more resilient because you have that energy. Some ideas to start your day off right that you can do in your own home. So one thing that I love to do, I have a daughter who's 16 months who wakes up pretty early, and I'm still breastfeeding. So that means that like the minute she wakes up, I'm already like, basically like I'm going to help or I'm going to feed her. And that's like, I put on my mom hat right away. So what I started doing was I started waking up earlier, which was hard. And I started to do some breath work in the morning. So the breath that I taught you ladies today, like deep, slow breaths in and out through your nose, you could do that for 10 minutes in the morning. It will change the way that you approach your day. I promise you. Do it for 5 days in a row and then come back to me and let me know like how this was helpful. So that's an example of something that you can do in your home. You can also set up a little space in your home to move your body. So right next to my bed, I live in the, well, most of you, some of you live in the Bay Area. I don't have a lot of square footage. My room is like my office, my workout space, my room, like it's literally everything. All you need is a yoga mat. It's worth the space, and you can move your body for 10 minutes before you have to go serve others. And that's going to be a way to take care of yourself first. If there's any way that you can get outside, this would be the number one thing. So I know you mentioned that you have to do it in your home, but maybe you have like a balcony or a patio, or maybe you have a window that you can open. Getting access to like the cold morning air, it does wonders. Part of my routine every morning is to get outside and walk again before I have to wake baby girl up, because again, I know like the minute I do that, I'm going to be like mom hat on. So hopefully these ideas are helpful. And again, like, I love that you don't want to look at your phone, just decide not to do it. Like put your phone in your underwear drawer and just like leave it there for the morning, or like put your phone in the kitchen. There's also some ways that you can, if you have an iPhone, I'm actually going to do like a mini training on this too. There are ways that you can like block your notifications. There are ways that you can limit your access to apps. So if you really want to bring this, like if you're really like, oh man, like I really want to not be on my phone for more than 20 minutes a day, you can go into the apps that you spend the most time at and put limits. I've done that on my social media apps. Okay, I hope that was helpful. So how to close the gap even more when dealing with issues at work. Yes, so work issues can be incredibly difficult because often we tie our identity to the work that we do. And when we have issues happen at work, it sometimes pokes at our value of ourself. So the first thing that I invite you into is to unravel yourself from that identity, because you are your own person outside of what you do. You are a powerful person outside of what you do. So that's the first part. And then the second part is learn how to regulate your nervous system when issues at work happen. So the resilient breath that I taught you today is really good. Putting your hands on your heart is a really good way to do that. I go into this a lot in my larger program called Break Up with Burnout, which is going to start enrolling at the end of this month. So that's like a whole thing on burnout recovery and stress prevention and resiliency. And I talk about this so much. So for now, oh, that's somebody that entered the room right now, Amy. For now, to answer this, focus on the things that can regulate your nervous system and breathe life over the fact that you are your own person outside of your work. And so if you notice that when your boss, like if your boss gives you negative feedback and that immediately makes you look at yourself differently, start unraveling that, because it's not true at all. You are your own person outside of that. So I hope that's helpful. Yeah, that's what I have to say about that. I have a lot of experience in this too, because when I was a VP in corporate, like I had a lot of work fires, and I also was the youngest and only female on the executive team. There was no other women. There was one other woman in the company. It was mostly all men. So that was a thing. Okay. And then the other question that I allowed you, hi, Amy. that I allowed you all to jump in was, what is one challenge you are facing that you would like support around? Okay, staying calm during family illness and having to take more charge of the family. This is a really good one. As I mentioned, family illness can bring a lot of fear and it can be really paralyzing. So use all of the things that I taught you today. Start using them right now. Express emotions that are coming up with the situation. So sometimes we feel like in order to be the strong leader, we can't cry, or we can't have a meltdown, or we can't express. And that isn't true. You can be a strong leader and cry at the same time. Those two things can coexist. So release any emotion that's coming along with this situation, because that is scary. Use the tools that I taught you today and start breathing life into the reality that you are a powerful leader and that you are leading your family. So again, speak to your vision. If your vision is that you want to take more charge of the family, speak to that now. I am a leader in my family. I stay grounded and I teach my children how to stay grounded when illness happens. I am a leader who brings my family into a place of security and safety, and they feel safe around me because they see me respond in a new way. These are all possible. And again, if you don't feel that right now, it's okay, but start speaking life into it now, because that will close the gap very quickly. Okay. Yeah, that's what I have to say about that. And lean in for support, because especially with illness, you do not have to do this on your own, ladies. That is something we get caught in a lot. Like, I got to figure this out on my own. I can't lean in for support. I can't ask for help. Leaders ask for support. That is true. Powerful women lean in and they get support from people when they need it. And so if you're going through something that's difficult, get support from your family, from others, from me. You know, there's a lot of people here for you. Okay. I tend to take work issues personal. Okay. Especially when it involves my money. Yeah, it's hard not to. Okay. So there's a recession happening. Okay. So this question is about taking work issues personal, especially when it's tied to money. And due to the recession, there's been budget cuts, there's been layoffs, and that has caused people to panic, which is causing people to pay less for the same product that they had last year, which can be frustrating. I'm assuming the person who wrote this is a business owner, from the sounds of it, because it sounds like you have clients, and what your clients were willing to pay last year and what they're willing to pay this year is different because of the recession. Bye, Rachel. Good. So good to see you. Sorry, I'm like losing my voice. Yeah, check out the Facebook group. Okay. The first thing I have to say is the same thing I said earlier around practice unraveling this tie to identity with work. It's really difficult, especially when you own your own business, because like your full heart is in it. It's your dream that you're building, and you can become really tied up in that. And so there has to be a separation of your value and identity and the things that happen at your work. That can't be the same, because things are going to happen that you can't control. And if you tie your identity to those things, you're going to be you're going to be falling down over and over and over again, right? So that would be the first thing. And then the second thing is, yes, it is incredibly difficult when your money is impacted by things like layoffs and things like recessions and losing your job. Like, these are very difficult challenges. And the way that you can become a resilient woman through all of that is to focus on your vision, not your circumstance. So we talked about this in the training today. Your circumstance is that layoffs are happening. We're in a recession. Money is tight for some people. Your vision, maybe in this situation, your vision is that you want your clients to pay you what you're worth. Maybe your vision is you want to find the job of your dreams if you were laid off. Maybe your vision is, you know, that your leadership is so strong that you would help any company that hired you. Breathe life over that instead of breathing life over the circumstance, because what we tend to do as humans is we tend to focus on the challenges and the circumstance, and we spend a lot of our energy on that. And there's a quote that says, I'm going to butcher it for sure now. It's like, what you put your energy into grows, right? Like, If you have a garden, like what you water grows. Like if you're watering the circumstance and that's what's going on in your head, I just lost my job, layoffs are happening, these clients won't pay me as much. Like if that's on repeat, you're going to create more of that. And if this feels a little woo for you all, just sit with it. Just sit with it. If you breathe life over what you want, you will see more of that in your life. It's a boomerang effect. What you put out there comes back. What you put out there comes back. So I have a student who's very dear to me who went through a very similar experience. And my coaching to her was to continue breathing life into what's possible. This is an opportunity. She went into work and found out that her position was dissolved in one day. She got zero notice. So my advice to her and my mentorship to her was to focus on what's possible. What do you want to come from this? Is this an opportunity for you to land another job that's going to be worth it? That's going to be what you want. That's going to be more money. And because she put her energy into that, within 1 week, she had 3 interviews at new places that she actually wanted to work at. And she was able to turn people down that she knew wasn't in alignment. What? Like turning people down in a recession? So this is what is possible, ladies, and this is what you can create. This is the power that you have and the impact that you have on your own life, and we forget that. And so it's really, really important to keep coming back to that because you are so powerful, and you do have the power to create what you want. And so hopefully that was helpful for that question. I think I covered everything that I wanted to there. Yeah. Another question around layoffs came through, so same answer. So question, layoffs are happening in my industry and I'm worried about my job. It's okay that you're worried about your job. Focus on something else. Allow that to be a worry that doesn't get a lot of your energy. This is where you hold fierce boundaries for yourself, ladies. You say, I am not going to give a lot of my energy to that worry, because if you do, it will grow. How many of you have given so much life to a worry and then it's like consuming you and you're like under the covers, like, oh my God, right? Okay. Okay, last one. I have a young baby that is very demanding and all of my time goes to caring for her. I feel ya, mama. I feel ya. So I have a 17-month-old. I love her to death. She's super demanding. So what I have to say about this is that, especially for young children, like they do require a lot of us and we want to be able to show up for that. And so that means that you have to take care of yourself first. And if you follow me on social media, and if you're in the Revive and Thrive Facebook group, you know that one of the things I talk a lot about is leaving a legacy of harmony and peace for the future generations. And that's something I'm really passionate about because so many of us saw our parents really stressed out and they saw their parents really stressed out and they saw their parents really stressed out. So it's no wonder that we're at a time where 45% of women are experiencing burnout right now. And what does that mean for our future generation if we pass that down? So you all have the power, regardless of if you have kids or not, to pass down peace and harmony to the future generation, but that requires you to do it in yourself first. And so that takes radical responsibility because that shit's hard, right? That's very hard. So my answer to this is that you need to take care of yourself before you take care of your daughter. And I know how hard that is because I'm a new mom. And I've caught myself going straight to the room without taking care of myself first. And those days are always way harder. So take care of yourself, fill your cup to overflow, not just filling your cup, but overflow, right? So that you have more to give. And if you don't know how to do that, then find somebody to learn from who can teach you. I have so many tools I can help you with. There's so many other people out there that do. So take radical responsibility around, I don't really even know how to fill my cup and that's okay, but start learning from somebody who does and start prioritizing that too. I see a lot of moms that prioritize everyone else besides themselves. And that leads to depletion and it leads to passing down that cycle of stress. So I know a lot of the women in my world want to be cycle breakers when it comes to that. And you have to start with yourself. You have to go first. And that's very hard. And it's totally possible because you are so powerful. All right, ladies, I think that's all of the questions. Yeah. So thank you so much for all of you who have stayed on till the end. So amazing. I would love to know if you have any other questions. So you will get the replay to this video after today. And in that replay will also be a breakdown of this new program, Resilient Woman, that I launched or that I offered to you ladies today so that you can see what it's all about. And as a reminder, if you book a connection call within the next 48 hours, it doesn't have to be within the next 40 hours, but if you actually schedule the call, you will also receive a free coaching call from me too. And that will be in the email. This is your last chance. If you totally forgot about the giveaway, to snap a picture so that you can repost it on your story so that you can get a prize. I will, at the end of today, reach out to whoever received that prize. And again, what you will get is a $50 credit to any of my programs that I offer, including Resilient Woman, which I told you about today. And you will also get a 1-hour guided embodiment session with me. So, any other questions that you ladies have? How did you enjoy the training? What was one takeaway that you had from today? Put it in the chat. Let me know. What's one golden nugget, one piece of value? The breathing technique. Okay, good, Diana. I'm so glad. And Diana, make sure that so if you have social media, you can reach out to me at Thrive with Cass. I'll put it right now. I'm gonna actually message you. Regarding the question that you asked earlier, I would love to help you with that. Even better, Diana, just book a call. You have the calendar link in the chat. So just book a connection call because that's a 30-minute time slot that we can come on Zoom and go through that specific question and I can help coach you through that. Okay, so that would be the best way. I also put my Instagram on there. Okay. Rose, my new mantra, I am grounded, I am calm, and a reminder that where my attention goes, energy flows. Yes. Yes. Erica, take care of yourself and leave a legacy. Yes. So amazing, the impact that we get to create. All right, ladies. Well, thank you all so much for being with me today. Amy, your thoughts control your mind. Yes, they do, girl. You know. So Amy is part of my Breakup with Burnout program, which again is my much larger program that enrollment's going to open in November. That's a really powerful program and container to be in. If you are experiencing burnout right now, like that's the container you need to get your booty in. And she's made such epic growth. And so I'm so happy to see you here. All right, ladies, I'm going to log off. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for all of you who stayed till the end. And if you're watching this on replay, reach out to me and let me know what your golden nugget was and your takeaway was. And I will see you all soon. All right, bye.